Choose you this day whom you will serve. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
It's Joshua Demers Productions with another off-grid hybrid RV camper repair video where the water heater hole in the front left floor is finally fixed in a proper, possibly professional fashion. Take it away, Jay.
Good morning, Jay. What have we got going on today? Well, in the last video I recorded, I went ahead and got my workshop RV door straightened out so I could get in and out of it again, so I could fix my water line that got crushed by the tractor out there, and found out that it actually got crushed up at the front of the house. And so I'm just gonna have to use the water spigot all the way out at the end of the driveway. So I've got another hose on the way to fix that. But I've decided to do some rearranging. I took the shelf that was up here on the front of my living RV and moved it over here between my stove and my recliner. And took my little chair and put it over here. And I'm gonna take my little recliner office chair, gamer chair thing out of my newest RV, and I'm gonna set it over here for when I have company, or I'm also gonna put a table sticking out from that wall right there so I can turn it sideways and sit at a table and have a little workstation as well that I've been lacking for years, it appears. Well, the problem I've been having is this hole in the floor from when I bought this thing, or I should say got this thing. Anyways, I have replaced the floor joist in this thing a long time ago. Well, maybe a couple years ago. I started on it probably 5 years ago, and finally finished it up, I don't know, a year or two ago. Anyways, so now I've finally come back around. I'm sick of these chairs sitting up high on the front and having to put little spacers on the front legs, and the roller chairs don't work back here anymore, and look at all these gaps and everything. Just, you know, I put a piece of plywood on it similar to that up to about here, and you can see I just made these little spacers over the floor joist, being prepared for the future when I would actually cut this out and put the proper 5/8 patchwork in. Unlike my newest RV and my workshop RV, I'm going to just be patching this one up for right now. I'm not actually replacing the flooring, partially because I'm living in it, and also because it's a 35-40 mile drive to get for the closest place to get 5/8 OSB to try to match this up. Fortunately, I've got some 5/8 left over, believe it or not, from cutting out these pieces over here that may have been halfway decent, and also out of the project RV or workshop RV. That was 5/8 flooring that I pulled out of there and replaced with 3/4 on the front half, so I can take the scraps from that and trim them down and use them to fill in along this wall here. And this hole goes all the way up to the wheel well, so you know, I'm only going to be going up to this shelf for right now, just so I can get these chairs back in here. While I'm at it, I will go ahead and do a better job of cleaning and scrubbing this up. I noticed I got a missing floor joist. I'll go ahead and put that on, and I'll take a look at what I need to do to tighten this seam right here up. It's probably just going to require a bit of work up in this corner, and that's probably going to be a project for another day, because I'll probably just have to take this paneling off of here all the way across and just redo the framing. And same over there. I can see I've already replaced some of the framing down there, but I might as well just, like I said, just finish this up. And for $15 a sheet, for this, for I guess what they call hardboard, what I would say a paneling alternative. Or I might actually be able to get 1/4-inch plywood for like $12 a sheet. You know, the plywood, again, it depends on how far I want to go. If I want to try to just match this up, then obviously the paneling, the hardboard will match up with the paneling side by side. But if I was going to be doing large stretches of this, the plywood would be a little cheaper and better. And I'll tell you, honestly, when I sand it down a little bit and then put that good thick paint on it, I actually like the texture. It actually, you know, adds some life to it. Very similar to the way the ceiling looks with a little bit of texture. And even the print on the wallpaper, you know. So the plywood actually has another positive aside from just being thicker and sturdier and able to take screws, and that's the fact that with a little light sanding and some good paint, or well, thick paint, it adds the texture that would be missing with just a straight hardboard with paint on it, I would think. So anyway, enough talking. Time to get to work. All right, I mentioned in the last video that you may have seen by now, I'm actually uploading it on my new internet, and it's taken 5 hours or less to do 4 gigabytes when it used to take more like 20 or 30 hours if I was lucky. And it's been effortless. I just started the file and just sit back and let it do its thing, whereas I used to have to keep jumping up and checking it every 20 or 30 minutes to make sure something didn't go wrong and hope it didn't get to the end and have to restart all over again. Hopefully those days are all past me. So anyways, I've been getting this worked on, cleaning out, getting this opened up and getting ready to put a piece in here. And so far, this piece is 20 inches by 4 feet. And then I got another 2 feet before I come back in here and the floor starts itself again. And I had that shelf sitting there anyway, and my chair doesn't go past it. So I figured that's a good stopping point at the moment. So I need 6 feet, technically 6 feet by 20 feet to make one square solid rectangle, and it'll cover up those holes too as well. But I may have to do something a little shorter. But remember, this floor joist is in here too, so cutting it over here will allow me to put a plywood patch underneath it, the seam, and then use this floor joist to support this piece over to the outside. Something else I noticed is this thing here either didn't do a good job tightening it up or it's come apart a little bit. So I think if I go on the outside with the jack and push this back up in this way and get some more screws, and I can tighten this up. May even need to just get bolt and some nuts, lag bolts and some nuts, and tighten it up. We'll see. But that's something I will have to figure out. But right now I can at least get this straightened out and put this piece of floor in here. But that brings up another issue. I went through the workshop RV where I got all my plywood stacked up against the wall. In fact, it's so much plywood it's actually bowing the wall out. I need to go ahead and find a better place to stack it. But anyway, this honestly is the only piece of 5/8 flooring I've got left out of everything. I know it's plenty to do that, but I don't know if it's actually 6 feet across, so I can just make it one nice simple piece. I guess we're gonna find out. Oh, it is just a little short of 6 feet. So I may have to make this in 2 pieces. 4-foot piece, and then the 2-foot piece in here. But anyway, I got something to work with, but that's it. I cut this up, put this in there, and I'm out of 5/8 flooring. I should be able to have enough to cut out the little rectangles for the floor vents as well, to patch those up. And That at least get me in a good spot with that RV floor in there, where even if I don't do anything else to it, it's flat and even all the way from the front to the kitchen. All right, since I don't want to damage my elbows and take too much time pulling and pushing and twisting all these either in or out, I think I'm going to try that cutting wheel and my drill and just popping them off like that. And I don't even know if I need to do all of them. I might just need to do the ones around the edges, or that might get in the way of the floor joist. All right, so here's where I'm at. I've got a piece of plywood cut pretty good. Got it flattened out and sanded and cleaned up on the bottom side. I've got my floor joist cut to fit in the missing piece. I've got a piece to couple it to the other rest of the floor joist that's still in there. I've got this piece to go right here with space for the floor joist out there and space for this, and I'll screw it in through the top to hold it, and it'll give me a lip to put the other piece of plywood into. And same with this will go right along here like this, and it'll stick out over here to go up under the plywood that's still there. And because I don't have as much plywood as I thought I would, I'm going to go ahead and cut that other piece right inside this floor joist and just up to the wall there for the next 2 feet. And I'm going to probably take this piece right here and just run it along the floor joist right here to set that piece of short or narrow plywood up against the wall. You'll see what I'm talking about. All right, I believe I got all the hardware done except this piece right here, and I think I figured out a way to deal with these holes here. If I take and reach up under here with this, slide this all the way up over to here, and then put a couple of screws in there, and I got a spot I can fill in, and that'll solve that. All right, so now I got this cut up almost right along this joist right here, and I cut this just a little bit longer than it needs to be to go right along here and stick out past this one so I can join them. And I've got me some little spacers to go up in here, one for over there and one for right here. I got this piece to put right here and then measure that and put it in. Now, if I was going to do this super professionally, I scrub this out, patch up any little holes in it with the tape, with a repair tape, and then insulate it. But this is going to be removable, and I've still got some more work to do on the outside, so I'm not going to finish this up right now. There's a lot more places that need a lot more insulation than this right here. All right, take a look at this. It is finally finished. At least ready for the first piece. And all I should have left to do is measure and cut the next piece. So, figure out. And you see I got an edge all the way around for this thing to sit on. And look at that fit. How about that? Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And so I screw this down and I put this one. Oh, I'm gonna have to trim that up just a little bit more, but anyway, that goes up in there. And one more piece there. And then I should be able to put my chairs back again. Awesome. All right, I have done it. I have successfully patched the floor up using the scrap wood I had left. And it feels as solid
And even as ever, the office gamer recliner chair ought to have no problem rolling around up in this corner now. If I would have used fresh wood, cleaned up, did the installation, this would be a proper job. To be honest with you though, I think you'd have to replace the entire floor if you wanted to glue fresh flooring down. Because I think you got to have fresh wood with the fresh glue for it to work right. But either way, not bad for a late afternoon from start to finish. I still got to get up on the outside and fix that edge right in there, pull the panel off and the siding off, and probably just have to do some reframing and get it up in there, but that'll allow me to fix my final corner, and then that'll be done. All right, Jaybird, you've been in the cage all day. Time to let you out and fly free. Bye. I hope you enjoyed these videos at least as much as I enjoy life to make it so far. I've already got half the front wall reframed with amazing results, and soon I'll be figuring out how to refurbish these old windows with new regulators and seals so they work like new again. Stay tuned, there's always more to come. Mr. J, you got anything else to say today? Birdie Birdie J, he always got so much to say. See you next time.